Hello and welcome to a very small commentary channel where I upload content of various subjects depending on audience viewing and depending on what I have learned, depending on sometimes what's happening in my life. I look at anything and everything that involves life and also death. And my name is Jem. So, hi. Now, the other day I uploaded a shameful practice that was admitted by a Seventh-day Adventist doctor who received $5,000 from the government to instill fear into the Indigenous to get vaccinated, and once they did get vaccinated, were rewarded by alcohol. Today, I'm going to reveal another shameful practice. This information is very reliable and it came to me from a nurse. Unfortunately, the nurse didn't at the time, I was only told this yesterday, so she couldn't recollect the name of the particular drug or medication, but she said it was very common and it was used for people who suffered rheumatoid arthritis. Now and it was very common, like I said, this particular medication was found by an English doctor to have side effects. These were the side effects. People who suffered brain injuries or people with dementia, anything to do with the brain, they found that the side effect of this drug was actually a good side effect. For example, people who had suffered brain injuries, before I talk about this any further, let's talk about the body. For your heart to beat, your hand to move, for you to feel pain, it's all about chemicals and electrical impulses. So our brain receives a message via an electrical impulse. So when there are brain injuries or things like dementia, to explain this very simply, and it's more complex than this, but parts of the brain are damaged, and the parts of the brain that are damaged, there are misfiring of electrons or those electrical impulses, electric impulse between the synapse to the next electric impulse. So there's misfirings, and the side effect was found that, say, a person had a part of a brain injury where it impacted on their remembering how to talk. For some unknown reason, the side effect of this medication was that they could. A side effect for people with dementia. Now, with people with dementia, and that's again a very complicated disease, but this good side effect allowed people with dementia better memory functioning. Well, these good side effects was discovered by an English doctor. As soon as this English doctor discovered these good benefits of this common drug used for rheumatoid arthritis, he patented it. Once he patented it, meant he owned it. So that meant, I'm going to put it in perspective for you here. This nurse used to look after patients who had brain injuries. And one of the patients went to an Australian doctor who said that to give him this drug so the synapses worked and he was able to talk. He didn't have rheumatoid arthritis, he had a brain injury, would cost this person, because it wasn't on the PBS scheme. The PBS scheme means you get in Australia your medication at a cheap rate, $6.80 I think it is. Well, it would cost that patient for one of those drugs, one tablet, $65,000 Australian dollars. And this doctor said, unfortunately, tragically, sadly, if he was to lie and say that this patient who had a brain injury was suffering rheumatoid arthritis so he could get the drug, he could lose his license. I was shocked. The greed. This is greed. This is pure greed. This is an English doctor has found a common medication used for rheumatoid arthritis had really beneficial side effects. Most drugs, when they have side effects, they're nasty. You know, you get nausea, diarrhea, sometimes even death. But this particular drug, for some reason, did allow the brain to be able to, I'm not explaining it very well, but be able to function again. And that's not a very good explanation, but what I'm saying is this patient who had a brain injury, by using the drug, was able, the brain would connect the dots and he could talk. But it would cost him $65,000. I thought pharmaceutical companies were greedy, but this English doctor. So I said to this nurse, are you telling me that if and this is how it works, I walked across the street and I bought over-the-counter medication and I tried it and I found out, it did something really good. Let's say it cured, this is just an imaginary thing, that say it cured me of psoriasis, a good side effect, that I then said, I'm onto a winner here. I will patent this, let's say it's aspirin, I will patent aspirin, so no one can use aspirin without my permission, and it's going to cost you whatever I put on it. $20,000 so your psoriasis can be cured. I don't know the doctor, because this information told to me was by a nurse who has only just come. She only just graduated at the time of COVID. So whoever, if you do the research and you can find out who the doctor is, let's name and shame him right here, right now. That is greed. Can you imagine that, let's say there are people who can afford, and there aren't, but let's say there are people who can afford, that they have a loved one who's got a brain injury, who's got dementia, and it's going to cost them $65,000 every time they use that medication. This man, this English doctor, is raking in the money. I thought pharmaceutical companies were bad. This man is next level. Talking about greed, this, instead of doing good for society, instead of saving lives and helping disabled people have quality of life, he's put a price tag on it. That is disgusting. Thanks for watching. Take care. Love, light, and blessings. And I'll be back very shortly with another video. Bye.